My last major teacher was Jean-Claude Casadesus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he was
he was in Binghamton for a while.
yeah, and he was also in France. I went over to France to study with him, and I actually was in the presence of Nadia Boulanger.
Oh, wow.
She said, you know, what you really should do, and she put the lid down on her piano all the way down, everything,
Mm-hmm.
and covered it with a blanket, and then put the music rack over it and said, now play as loud as you can. And I could only play like a mezzo forte, and she said, that's the way you should play all the time. And I thought to myself, I don't think I want to do that. And I wish you could have heard what John said when I told him that. He says, "What does she know?" I loved Jean so much, and we were such great friends, and we did other crazy. He was a stunt guy too. Besides a great teacher, he liked to relax and do crazy stuff. He had me driving his car in Fontainebleau once, and he didn't care who was in the car, and it turned out to be some dignitaries of the school. Didn't think it was that funny, but Jean thought it was funny, and especially since I stalled it in the middle of Fontainebleau, in the village, flooded it or something. It was a Citron.
Oh.
And I didn't know anything about driving a car. And I said, Jean, are you sure you want to do that? Oh, I want you to see I have the experience. But I had some experiences with Jean Robert that were unbelievable. And I never forgot them. The school had some art exhibitions that they held in various places. And they held a couple of them in Jean's studio. So Jean got the brilliant idea, said, Ed, what are we going to do? And I said, well, I don't really have any 20th century music right in my fingertips, because the last piece I did was Shostakovich Fantastic Dances in my college recital, and I really hadn't worked on anything 20th century. I mean, if I'd known about this, I probably could have brought, I had the sheet music to the Shostakovich polka, and I think I had a couple other, I had some of the Romanian folk dances of Bartok, and I could have brought those and memorized them, but...
How about the Rachmaninoff Barkov?
Oh, you mean...
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I like that piece.
It's wonderful.
But anyway, so Jean said, well, I've got an idea. Let's make up our own 20th century music. So he got on one piano, and I got on the other. And I said, well, I don't know anything on it. He said, all right, just follow me. You do what I tell you to do. So we'd start out with all these crazy... And he'd be playing right along with me. Well, those crazy people over there, they took us seriously. And then he'd tell me, okay, now thicken, get it thicker. You know, get these clusters. Then let's thin it out, make it real thin, you know. So he was telling me what to do, and the two of us were doing this together.
And you managed to not crack out laughing?
Well, it was not easy because Jean thought it was the funniest thing in the world, and so did I. But what was even funnier was that people would ask us to repeat it.
Oh,
He was a funny guy, but he could be deadly serious. And I was working on the Ravel Sonatine, and there's a horrible spot near the very end of the third movement that I kept having trouble with. And it's basically goes like this. You play a chord, and then you go, I don't know if I can do this or not, yeah. In other words, well, I kept missing it. And he said, I don't know, why do you keep missing that? I said, I don't know, I just can't seem to time it. Getting myself prepared. I can do it now, but I couldn't do it then. And so he closed his eyes and he tried it. And he says, so he went, or, he kept missing it. Out. And every time he missed it, he'd go, ouch. He'd go, ouch, ouch. God damn it, ouch. And finally, he said, I see now why you have trouble with that. He said, I think if I couldn't see, I'd probably do the same thing you're doing. But he one of the things that he taught me, he said, Ed, I'm going to teach you something right now that I think would be a valuable lesson to you in the future. And he said, that is, don't ever be afraid of what you have to do. And he said, if you have to, if you're way up in the treble section with your left hand, all of a sudden you gotta jump down real quick to a bass octave. He said, do it. Don't hesitate. Just do it. Plow on to it. If you make a mistake, so what? Try it again. Try to get the distance down. So I practiced these distances. This is how I got to do stride like I did. Although I was doing it in college, but not as big as this. And he said, just, if you're up here, say you're up in this area and you're going to go down to the bass, just keep doing it. There was a place in Reflections on the Water where I had trouble, and I'm not sure I can play it now. I have to keep going.
Yes.
Okay, and then you go. Well, it was that spot. I had trouble with it. I kept. I'd hesitate. And he said, don't. He said, that is not the. He said, you got to plow right into that part because it's a very virtuosic part, and you got to plow right into that. You can't hesitate there, otherwise it ruins the suspense of the whole thing. So. I would practice that over and over again. Not so much for my right hand, because my right hand was right there. My left hand was not there. And I finally got it so I could play it pretty close. And he said, that's pretty darn good. He says, I have to commend you for that. He said, sighted people sometimes can play even faster than that, but you're doing pretty fast without seeing the keys. But you're anticipating what you have to do. He said, that's all it is anticipation.
Yes.